Welcome, dirty peasants, to episode 87 of Wartwood Gazette, the Amphibia podcast. This week we'll be covering. Okay, I'm your host, the Baticon, and join me today we have Nick.
Hello, everybody.
So
My name is Mark McGuire. But seriously, hi, I'm here. What's up?
I'm just giving a disclaimer for everyone. This is all on me, okay? These are my personal thoughts about what I believe are Amphibia's overrated episodes. You know, I didn't ask Nick for his thoughts before the recording. He only knew that we were making this topic like an hour ago, so don't blame him for what I'm about to say because it's almost Halloween. I'm feeling kind of a little spooky. So I made a list, a small list, and I just wanted to just a disclaimer, like I enjoy every episode of Amphibia. Do I think some episodes are better than others? Of course. But like, I can't think of an episode of Amphibia that I believe is bad. But I do believe some people, because I think every episode of Amphibia is great, there are times where I see episodes that people praise a lot and hold to a higher regard than other episodes that I maybe don't really understand. You might argue that I'm stupid. You'd be correct. But let's start with the list. So, the first episode I have on here that I believe is overrated is Wally and Ann. You know,
Ooh.
I felt like just because I like season 1, I wanted to be biased and just not include any of those episodes here at all. But I feel like Wally and Ann is an over. Okay, so hear me out, Nick. Hear me out.
Okay,
Okay.
okay.
So, the main theme of this episode is kind of like Anne can be kind of whoever she wants in Amphibia and can kind of like redefine herself. And that's great. But it feels like this episode kind of like spells it out for the reader, or not reader, for the viewer. Like I've been seeing this journey with Anne for already like more than half a season already. And the episode kind of just like tells me that. And keep in mind, I love all these episodes. And I think this is a really great episode with Anne kind of like interacting with Wally without the planners, like kind of on her own. But like for people to kind of like when I see people give the praise this episode deserves, I don't I feel like there are other episodes that kind of like don't tell the same message, but have an important impact on Anne's growth as a character. And I see people address Wally and Anne with
Wow.
high regard, but like not the other episodes the same way. Like
Don't tell me you're gonna say it. Don't tell me. Don't tell me it's that episode.
so Nick, what are your thoughts on this?
I feel like you're gonna say Anne versus Wild deserves more attention. But I think it's an interesting point. Yeah, again, it's one of those things. I think But Zarnia, I always keep repeating it. It's like what I said in the last episode. It's just the idea of yeah, people not appreciating Amphibious goals enough to where they can, yeah, really just look back at how this show built up its like how they build up Anne's character arc, right? How they build up its several plot lines. Yeah, I like Wally and Anne too, but I think I can admit. I think there are other season 1 episodes that deserve just as much attention, if not more.
And look, we both know why Wally and Anne all of a sudden got like a bunch of attention in season two, like onwards. It's because the Moss Man showed up.
Yeah,
Like you know
the
it,
moss.
I know it, the Moss Man knows it. Like no, just and keep in mind, there's gonna be the Moss Man thing is gonna come back again. But I can go on to the next point if you like, just to
Yeah,
put you out of your
keep moving.
misery. Not really, but okay. Here's my second pick. Toadcatcher. Now, look, I know I know people like their Sasha episodes, because Chuck is in the chat. Sorry. One of our friends are in the chat. He posting. Okay, look, Sasha's being kind of aggro for a bit of the episode, and then someone's sent to hunt them down, and then Grimes like again, Grimes spells it out for the viewer, like Sasha's upset. Like he basically recaps what happened in reunion to Sasha. And then Sasha's like, "Yeah, you're right. Let me not learn from this experience." And everyone's like, "Man, what a great episode." like like I get like not every episode has to like have like a moral to the story or whatever, but like the two episodes we have, it's at least with Barrel's Warhammer, it has like Sasha kind of like feeling a bit of like remorse over losing Percy and Braddock, like losing their friendship, and then her just like continuing to like go on this path she's on. But here in Toadcatcher, she's kind of just like in denial, and then just it's just her coming up with a plan to like not even coming up with a plan, just like their plan is to just take over the world, which I guess explains like why reunion she just wanted to like get Anne back, but now here she's kind of committed to. It already felt like in reunion that she was just kind of like she thrived off the power of like of the Toad Army, but like I didn't need. Okay, look, I know people like Yunnan, but she's kind of like a, and I know her thing is like a, like her gag is like the, what makes her like a memorable character, but like I don't, she's a fun
You never
villain.
bought the hype.
What?
You never bought the hype. Like you never bought into the hype.
Yeah, like I thought she was a fun like villain, but like I didn't. She's all right, I guess.
It's all right. Overrated as fuck, but yeah, but like I
so
mean,
how do you
if I
feel? How do you feel, Nick,
if
about
I
this?
yeah, I mean, honestly, I mean, it's funny. Yeah, this episode, I swear, like, this episode, this used to be like my easy rewatch when I first like got into the fandom. I think I just started chilling. Like again, I think it's just the ability to appreciate, no, to like try and break down everything that Amphibia is trying to do and just appreciate the episodes that are more about that. I think that's like why I've started to really appreciate season one and season three, like certain episodes more than some season two episodes. But that's a whole other thing. But yeah, I mean, I pretty much agree. I think I mean, I'm one of those people who would say that Yunnan peaked in like her first episode, and this isn't because like oh I don't appreciate characters getting more depth, but it's like I don't know, man. Like it's just what am I getting out of like which experience am I getting more out of? Like this general Union, this genuine threat that's a solid antagonist against the characters of this general Union. Um, I think this is yeah, mom, yeah, I'm Chucky's supposed to chat. Yeah, yes, I am a mom Olivia hater. I am. I never bought into all that stuff, but yeah. Okay, but going back to capture. Yeah, I mean, it's all right. Or but no, no, I'm not gonna say that. But it's fun. It is a fun episode. I enjoy it. I like Sasha, but damn, man, it's sometimes I wonder like it's still really good. Like it's still really good. It's just like how much of the hype came from like fuck. I feel like the trio hype that needs to be studied. I don't even like what other show. I'm gonna be honest with you. Still, like what other show got you that excited for the characters, for their drama, right? Like I swear, like other show like Gravity Falls. It was like I love Gravity Falls. I'll be honest, man. Like, I don't know how much I care about like it's like you were just there for I'm not saying you were just there for the mystery, but it's like the most jaw-dropping things to you were the mysteries, right? Owl House, it's like the lore. But Amphibia, it was genuinely like, holy fuck, what is going to be Anne's reaction when she sees Sasha again in season two? Like that was the biggest question for the fandom. It's insane how we were just engaged by this drama, but hell, they knew how to make this really human. Like they wanted a human perspective on this. Like he had like a really like God bless Matt Brawley. I'm going off topic a bit. Like, God bless him. And I hope like God, we keeps making more stuff because he really knows how to get us to connect on that human level. So we're just thoroughly invested in these stories. But yeah, but just going back, it's all right. Like it's fun. That's it.
All right. I was kind of having doubts about this next pick. And I'm kind of debating swapping it out with something else. Mm, you know what? Screw it. Okay. Nick, I gave you an episode, but I think I'm going to take that out. I'm going to replace it with
Okay.
Return to Wartwood.
Mm,
Okay, look, Nick. Okay, let me explain.
all right.
Okay,
Okay.
so Return to Wartwood. It's like
Uh,
everyone's like, "Oh, so great to get like animal players back to Wartwood and meet with the townsfolk again." And I'm here thinking like, "Where the fuck were all of you during season one?" Like, like, yeah, it's like the reason people like Return to Wartwood was because of season one. Yeah, I get that, I know, but it's like here, like the premise is really good. Like, they forgot to bring back a bunch of gifts, and now they have to like lie to cover it up. And then, no, I can't do this. Yeah, okay, forget. No, no, Return of Warwood's good. Okay, I'm sorry, I'm sorry. Yeah, I can't.
really can't resist. It's just too good. It's just too good.
Okay, let me go back to my other pick. Okay, Olivia Yunan is overrated because like basically it's like the first scene talking about like Olivia's role in the show, like I get it, it makes sense. And then when it comes back to the present day, like it's their plan to free Marcy. And like their reasoning to free Marcy is so like I get it's part of the point that Marcy didn't make any like she chose not to make really any like more deep emotional connections with people like Yoon and Olivia, even though these were people that like kind of like okay, not even not Yunan. Like I don't see reason like Yunan didn't really have like a profound relationship with Marcy. Olivia could have, but she didn't for reasons whatever for the show. And then they're like, "Oh, we gotta save Marcy because she's smart." And it's like, Okay. And then they go on their like they go on their little adventure to like free Marcy, and then they're kind of like we're kind of like backtracking through the castle that we saw back in Sleepover End All Sleepovers, and it's just them kind of like confirming stuff we knew. You know, like they see the
Yeah,
shadowfish again, they see the Mossman again, the Mossman. But
you know it's
oh, go ahead, Nick.
no, I was gonna say it's funny how I feel like episodes like these and the soft. Yeah, you know, no, honestly, I feel like Sasha's arc is still very solid. I feel like with some it's funny. I feel like with yeah, no, I'll include Sasha episodes. I think I'll say both with Marcy and Sasha. No, I'll say this. Okay, I know. So I feel it's funny how planters, like the planter episodes, they become so much stronger once you have the full picture. But then with Marcy and Sasha, I feel like because there's just so much hype to where their stories could go, it elevated them far beyond they had any right to be at. Right? I feel like they're still solid, but it's like people were treating them like these were the peak. Like these were peak fiction. Amphibia's best. Like you can't say anything. You can't like planters. That's just the show playing around. This is the show being serious and actually wanting to be good. But like now I'm noticing. I feel like Olivia Newman. Yeah, I feel like Darcy. Darcy was fine. I think Darcy was fine. Mom Olivia and Yuan. That was fine. Like I feel like back then we were just more we were just so overwhelmed by all these twists and turns that happened to this episode that we're just like we were I don't know we just have this idea that it's going to develop this grand thing as if we forgot the main characters are actually the planters. But again, that's another thing. But so yeah, I don't know, man. I'm noticing that like this episode, I like it, but it's not. If I had to rank 3A, I'm gonna be contrarian and it's not gonna be my top five. Like it might be a top five. I'm not putting it in there. Like I'm gonna be that kind of like it's like I'm sorry, but yeah, that's it.
And like, okay, we get, Marcy gets the electric chair at the end of the segment, so everyone's kind of like tuning in. But like, yeah, and then this is where she becomes Darcy, and then like, like wow,
Yeah,
and the core reveal is great. Like and just kind of like saying like the Mossman Shadowfish, the core stuff that that explanation for the core is like very brief and works like perfectly for the show. And I really like that. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, keep it okay. Disclaimer: I still like all these episodes.
yeah. It's just it's like we have a clearer mind now that the show's been over for like what a year and a half now, and that full picture, right? Like it all helps with our opinions, and I just think like I don't know, man. I feel like Sasha fans, especially Sasha fans, I think they need to acknowledge that. Um, how do I word this? Like these episodes, a lot of their quality came from hype. That like a lot of their quality came from the hype that people gave them because they were just expecting like these cataclysmic conclusions by the end of the season. And I'll give them this. Season two gave them that, but I'm like, nah, you saw. Nah, y'all are out. Y'all like your sauce episodes peak in season two. Like season three, y'all are done. Y'all are done. Like season three, y'all no. Y'all are out. Y'all are out. I can't even like I was nah. I'll think nah. I'm sorry, but keep going, Tom.
like, I'm trying to think what else like I can say about Olivia and Una, but yeah, like it's basically like it was basically them confirming all the stuff we thought. And I know people have made that point for Mother of Olms with the prophecy, but at least with like all like the Mossman stuff and Shadowfish, like that's like having Yunan and Olivia spending like a third of the episode just like walking through like the castle again seeing the stuff that we saw in Sleepover and All Sleepovers kind of felt like you don't need to do it. Like it's like I still feel satisfied that they brought it up, but it's not d- like it's a great episode. I just don't see why people are like clamoring for more because I know people want to see more of what was going on back in Amphibia, and we got it. And I do like that. I do like the beginning scene where we see Andrews kind of like ripping up the environment. That kind of like already told me everything I need to know about what Andrews is doing to the world. And then so then having that episode, like having that shot, and then just going immediately into the seeing Andrews' impact on the valley for a brief moment, and then all of a sudden going back into the cat, like sticking the rest of the segment inside the castle. It's fine, but like it didn't really like do anything for me personally. Like, well, like it doesn't like I don't understand like the overwhelming praise for it. I do think
Yeah,
solid beginning, solid end, but in the middle is kind of just like okay.
yeah, it's like honestly, yeah, I don't know. I don't know. It's cool. Like it's cool. It's a cool episode. I think I guess part of it is just that. Like shoot, I think because season three is just about ending thing again, man. Okay, this is I'm popping off. It's coming out of nowhere, but I think it's because like season three is like about just ending things. I don't think it has like that many more stories left to tell. Yeah, I feel like it's like I think something that just made those first two seasons like just like episodes like these. I don't know how to word all this, but I guess it's just I don't know. I think the episode's just fine. Like it really just gets the plot moving forward. I don't think it really does much else for like the big thematics of the show or any character arcs. I guess like yeah, you just have Andrews who's like who realizes that he's kind of bummed out and everything that's going on here, but it's like yeah, beyond that it's fine, I guess. You know.
And I mean, Nick, do you have any episodes you think are overrated, or should I just go into my last pick?
Um
It's all right.
uh,
You don't need to implicate yourself in this, but I'm giving you the opportunity
yeah,
to do so.
I'm all out.
Okay.
Honestly, I'm chilling. I'm chilling.
All right. So, my last pick I think is not I don't think it's unexpected. True Colors. I think True Colors is overrated. You know, I I thought about it for a while. Like I had a lot of time to think about it. And yeah, I think it's overrated cuz like, people kind of like okay, True Colors, okay, I know I keep disclaiming, but like yes, all these episodes are great, fantastic. Like True Colors is a fantastic episode. I just see people like kind of putting it like on a very high pedestal compared to the rest of Amphibia. I feel like when people do that, they kind of miss the point of how like True Colors is only impactful because of all those episodes leading up to it. Like if you for whatever reason like okay, I can kind of understand that like if you saw only True Colors and you thought, "Oh, this is a cool show. I want to check it out." And then you go back to the rest of the season and you're just like, "I don't get it." Like I like True Colors, but I don't like anything else. Then like the
Yeah.
show's not for you because like it's like nothing works. Nothing True Colors works without everything that came before. And like, there's also like, I feel like True Colors is on par with Reunion and The Hardest Thing, especially like their first like the first two thirds Okay, no, actually no. I think the first half of all these finales are all match up with one another. And then I feel like the second halves of all these finales kind of like becomes more debatable. Like remember Nick, remember when people were like when people praised Reunion about being a solid episode, and then right when True Colors came out, like everyone just dropped Reunion, like like the Andy Toy Story be like, I don't want to play with you anymore because like
Yeah,
they got their new kind of like sales pitch for pitching the show, and like that's fine, I guess, but
yeah,
like the first
yeah. Oh man,
the first half of True Colors is excellent. Like don't get me wrong, like but like there's some stuff like the Toad Army spends like half the episode constantly far from the gate and constantly like almost at the gates. It's like it kind of breaks the like watching the episode, it doesn't break the like you don't look like you don't think about it during the episode, but like now I'm looking back at it, it's like they spent like you know how the Toad Army is like always like approaching the gate, and then eventually they show like a shot of it like basically at the gate, but there's like another 2 minutes or like 5 minutes of like story. It just feels like like when you're watching the episode, you can because you care about what's going on, you can kind of like push that off aside, which is fine, completely fine. But then when I see people kind of like saying like that the storytelling in True Colors is like somehow like leagues ahead of anything else Amphibia's done, then that's when I kind of like that's where I kind of lose it. It's just like no, like Amphibia has like plenty of like solid episodes, just that like this one happened to have a lot of callbacks and a lot of continuity and had a girl get stabbed at the end for like the talking for like the buzzworthy moments, which is fine, but just kind of just overrate like makes it overrated in my view.
yeah. I think yeah, no, because that's like yeah. I mean that I think yeah that's all really fair. So I think honestly I was surprised. I thought you were gonna talk about how this affected season three, but I'm honestly I'm happy that you didn't. But yeah, you know,
Like I've done that a lot
uh,
already, so like I kind of wanted to
yeah, I just with a no here.
yeah.
But yeah, I think I see. Now I'm just thinking about your points. Yeah, because they're just really interesting. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I would like. I feel like I would say the hardest thing is like my favorite finale
Yeah, I
out
still
of
think it's my
Amphibia.
favorite.
But yeah, I don't think you know. Yeah, I know you said you feel like the first halves are all equivalent, but I feel like I don't know. Oof, I don't know. There's something about. I think it's the first. I think I don't know. I think both halves for me the hardest thing wins out on like both halves. Like I just it's just both, just hands down. I think I really like. Yeah, they're all like yeah. Chuck Stain and Chad, they're all basic story stuff. But I think like I don't know, man. I guess it's just like the last hurrah, right? And the hardest thing, like that's just like I've rewatched that scene so many times, and it's just it has never died down for me. Like I love it so much, but yeah, yeah. I think I guess what helps. I guess it's like a little unfair with the hardest thing because hardest thing is basically like part three of like a big hour and a half long or 2 hour long episode, right? And it feels like yeah. I think I guess this is an argument I can make for it. You know, I feel like you can really feel that the first halves of Reunion and True Colors are really just there for that second half, right? Like they're just there. Like Reunion, it's there to really set up that big fight between Sasha and Anne, and True Colors. that for it was just about Andrew. It was just about Andrew's Marcy, and not that it makes it bad, but I'm just bullshitting it. I'm just bullshitting it to make the hardest thing sound even better. Like just the hardest thing. It's the hardest thing. It's just gas. It's all gas, man. It just keeps going. Like it's not like the first half is not there to set up the second. Like no, no. Like the first half is its own beast. It's its own. Like it is creating like a big thematic finale for like the trio's friendship. It is letting them come into their true selves. Is letting Anne fulfill her like I guess arc as Amphibious hero. Like a lot of things are going on in that first half. So and I went off on a bit of a tangent, but I gotta defend. I ride for that episode. Like I gotta defend it.
That's fair. It's a good way to kind of like cleanse everyone's ears after listening to my picks for overrated episodes. But that
Yeah,
kind of
it's
wrap
imagine such a hard thing.
yeah, like and that kind of wraps up this recording. Thank you for if you've reached the end, thank you for putting up with me. And thank you, Nick,
Yep.
for being my sounding board. say
Yeah, it was a
say goodbye,
fun
Nick.
time. See ya.
See ya.